We'll start with have your weights ready. And we'll have the weights, we'll have the little band, and then we'll have the OOV this morning. So kind of simple. And we'll start on our backs just to get going. So start out having a seat at the very edge of the OOV. And then just kind of have the band nearby, but you don't have to put it on. And then let's slowly lie back down onto the back. Find that nice position of the pelvis. Arms on the pelvic bones. Just kind of let your shoulders relax and melt into the floor. We'll start with the breath work. We're going to breathe in through the nose. Start focusing on that lower diaphragmatic expansion. And then as you exhale, gentle contraction of transverse abdominis. Just thinking about pulling in hip bone to hip bone. Breathing in again. And exhale. Slow exhale, blowing out birthday candles, pursed lip breathing. Now when you breathe in, let's start nodding the chin. So bringing chin down, inhale. And exhale, release the chin nod. We'll do a couple of times. Breathe in, nod the chin, feel the length in the back of the neck. Ribcage still expanding outward. And exhale, release the chin nod. Allow ribs to relax and move down. For the next breath, let's grab our little weights. And start reaching both arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, allow shoulder blades to spread apart. And exhale, let those scapulas move towards each other. Again, breathe in, scapula protraction. And inhale, let the shoulder blades move towards the OOV, as if they're hugging around that pointy edge. Last one here. Let's pause the shoulder blades halfway in between. And now turn your palms kind of thumbs out. So we kind of have external rotation of the arm bones of the humerus. And keep that turn out as much as you can, elbows straight, as you start reaching hands overhead. Now, if this is tight or you feel like you can't get to the end, don't worry about it. Do the best you can, trying to keep arms straight, trying to touch the palm towards the floor, and then slowly coming back. We'll do this 4 more times. Inhale, arms reach overhead, elbows straight. Keep reaching over. Now, chin is down and ribs are pulling down. So we're starting to add layers to this overhead reach and then coming back. Inhale, nod the chin. Arms turn inward, externally rotated, reaching overhead. Exhale, coming back. Last 2, breathe in. And exhale. And last one here. Inhale over. And exhale, coming back. Now palms are still turning outward. So the thumbs are reaching out. Let your arms open to the side. So external rotation focus today. And then slowly coming back. Inhale, open. Reach outward, reach wide. Exhale, coming back. 3 more. Inhale out. Exhale, coming back. Still focusing on heavy tailbone on the OOV. A little bit of a chin nod, so the back of the neck stays open and long. With the next one, arms will open and they will stay. So just a little hover, about an inch or so off the floor. Now right arm is gonna come up. Breathe in, exhale out to the side. Inhale, left arm comes up, still keeping that external rotation. And bring it back. Keep going, alternating side to side. Starting to add challenge to the core stability. Definitely work through the arms, through the pecs. And bring it back. 2 more on each side. Inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Last one. Breathe in. And out. And last one on the left. Let's bring both arms towards the ceiling. Now we're gonna lower left elbow down to the floor, so it's gonna stay there. Right arm is reaching up. Left leg is going to come up into the tabletop. Now we're gonna go into the sequence, opposite arm and leg movement. So keeping that elbow on the floor, keeping opposite foot of the floor. Breathe in, arm moves overhead, the leg reaches long. Exhale, coming back. Inhale out, exhale. This feels pretty good. See if you can hover that elbow off the floor. Maybe even reach that arm up to the ceiling so that just the foot is on the floor. Keep moving. Inhale out. Exhale in. Working on stabilization and control through the torso as we're moving arm and leg. Try and just stay as stable as you can on the OOV. Lots of work through that foot and through that hip that's on the floor and coming back. Excellent. Now let's keep this position. We're gonna do circles with both arms. Both arms reach overhead. Exhale, open out to the side and coming back up towards the center. One more this direction. Breathe in. Arms open out to the side and coming back through the center. Now let's lower right elbow down, left leg down, and right knee comes up to the tabletop. So it's right knee, left arm, we're reaching towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Start moving arm and leg away from each other, and then towards each other. Through flexion, extension, and coming back. Now assess how this feels. If this is challenging already, stay here. If not, maybe hover the arm that's on the floor, hover the elbow, or maybe reach it up to the ceiling and keep going. Allow yourself to move as slow as you need to maintain stability. There's definitely always a side that's way more challenging. It's definitely this side for me. Last one. And bring it back. Let's pause, find control. Both arms are reaching up towards the ceiling. And let's do the circles reverse in the direction. So arms will move down towards the hips, open out to the side, through the snow angel kind of motion, reaching overhead and coming back up. One more time, arms move down, breathe in as they open. And slowly coming back. Let's lower both elbows down to the floor. You can drop the weight, so maybe arms are all the way on the floor. Let's bring both legs into the tabletop. Imprint through abdominals here. Nice long neck. We're gonna breathe in. And exhale, heel tap. One heel taps down to the floor. Inhale, bring it back. And the other heel taps down. and bring it back. Keep going at your own pace, alternating side to side. Kind of do it a little bit quicker through a bicycle. Breathing through it, feeling abdominals. This feels pretty good. To challenge our core, maybe arms just hover off the floor. Maybe it's just the fingertips that are touching the mat. Three more. And two. And last one. And we're gonna bring both legs all the way down to the floor. Now we're gonna do a little bit of a thoracic rotation sequence. This is a new one that we haven't done before. So hold on to the weights and reach both arms overhead and just lay them or put them down on the floor. So we're gonna reach overhead. Now we're gonna start with the left arm. Let that arm slide out to the side a little bit. So it's sort of at a 45-degree angle or so. Now the right arm is going to lift up and we're gonna start turning our head, reaching our arm towards that left arm that's on the floor. So you're gonna let your head turn and let your body kind of start rotating towards that arm. So the pelvis is on the OOV, the upper body will come off the OOV, the head will turn, we're sort of rotating towards that side. And we're gonna hold it there. And just breathe. With the next breath, slowly start unfolding and coming back to the center. We'll do this 3 more times, reaching to that left side. So that left arm stays down on the floor. It's kind of lined up with the ear. We're gonna start rotating towards it, turning the head. And the goal is to really reach through the thoracic spine to come up off the OOV, but the tailbone is still heavy. Let your head turn, reach through the shoulder, and then slowly coming back. The arm that's on the floor, left arm is pushing down into the floor to find that stability. Last reach here, breathe in. Let your head turn, let your upper body turn. Reach over. Feet are firmly pressing down into the floor. And then slowly coming back. Now that left arm is gonna slide down to a 90-degree angle. We'll do the same thing. So it stays at 90-degree angle on the floor. Breathe in, right arm is gonna start lifting up and we're gonna start rotating off the OOV as much as possible, but the tailbone stays down. And then exhale, coming back. 2 more. Start lifting, letting your head turn, twisting. And coming back. And last one here. Breathe in. The bottom arm is straight and the top arm is straight, and we're trying to lift our upper back off the OOV as much as possible. And then we're coming back, and the center of the OOV is between the shoulder blades. Left arm lifts up. Right arm is gonna go out to the side or overhead. Reach overhead and then kind of let it lay like that 45-degree angle or so, kind of a long diagonal. And we're gonna start rotating towards it. So here we go. Left arm is starting to reach towards the right. Head turns. And we're trying to lengthen and reach our fingertips together. Deep breath in. And exhale, coming back to the center. So the goal here is to find rotation through upper back as well as head and neck. Kind of incorporate our cervical spine, again, reaching across towards our thoracic spine. Tailbone is heavy on the OOV. And exhale, coming back. And last one here. Chin is knotted or tucked. Reaching up and across. Trying to gain just another millimeter of motion here. And then slowly coming back. Take that right arm straight out to the side. So now it's at the 90-degree angle. We're gonna do 3 times towards that side. Breathe in. Rotate from the OOV, lifting up as a shoulder blade, pulling ribs over and slowly coming back. 2 more. Breathe in, turn to the right, let your head turn. Start reaching that arm across, tailbone is still heavy. And exhale, coming back. And last one here. Up and over. And slowly coming back. Let's drop both arms and let's come off the OOV. We're gonna go straight into thoracic rotation again after we just did that. So we're gonna take the OOV and put it lengthwise with a little bit of an angle up. So the bigger part of the OOV is gonna angle up towards the shoulder. And then I'm just gonna go straight over, still have your weight available. So we're gonna continue with that thoracic movement. Both knees are forward, roughly 90-degree angle. Now, we can either keep both legs here for the first one, then we're gonna switch leg position. So we're gonna breathe in, top arm lifts up, let your head, neck, and shoulders rotate. And then exhale, keep going, twisting as far back as you can. Make sure that shoulder doesn't just fall back, kind of allow it to be a continuation of your thoracic spine. Now start reaching that arm overhead. Through that overhead motion, we're gonna start drawing half a circle. Again, inhale, arm lifts up. Start rotating back, exhale. And then circling that arm, letting your eye gaze follow along as we're rotating through the neck. One more time, arm lifts up, upper body twists back, look back. Let the arm reach overhead and rotate through. Now the top leg is gonna go straight back. So still 90-degree angle, but the knees lined up with the hip. If it's okay, if you feel like it needs to be supported, you can put a yoga block under it. Otherwise, if this is all right, we're gonna reverse direction of the arm. So the arm is gonna reach overhead, breathe in. Exhale, open back, allow the hip to rotate a little bit more. And then inhale, arm comes in through the center. Again, reach forward, start lifting the arm up, rotating across, looking back and through the center. Last one here, breathe in. Arm reaches over and back. Allow thoracic spine to rest on the OOV. And then we're coming back to the center. Let's bend that arm. We're gonna stay in the same position on the OOV, except we're gonna lift up onto the elbow. The top leg will just straighten. The top arm either on the floor, or we can kind of support our neck with both hands. So we sort of create this, a little bit of this plank position. Waistline is supported. Top leg is flexed. We're gonna breathe in, lift that hip up. Now from here, we're gonna bring that leg forward. We're gonna side kick. Exhale, point the toes as it moves back. Inhale, flex and bring the hip forward. Exhale, keep it back. 6 more. Inhale in. Exhale back. And 5. Slide in that hip as if it's sliding on a tabletop, parallel to the floor. Keeping that height. Working from the glute as we kick it back. And 3. And 2. Last one. And bring it back. Now let's hold it back and draw circles. Down and over. 4 and 4 each direction. You can make them big or a little bit smaller, whatever makes you feel like you're working in the back of the hip through the glute. Last one this direction. Now let's start reaching back up and forward for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lower the hip down, and let's repeat this on the other side. So, taking OOV across the other side, making it slightly angled. Little weight is in front. Find the waistline, arm is supporting through the neck, 90-degree angle through the front of the hips. The first, we're gonna start with our rotations. So the first one, arm is reaching forward, breathe in. Start lifting the arm. Exhale, rotate chest back, rotate thoracic spine back. And then start reaching arm overhead, drawing a circle and bringing it back to the starting position. 2 more this direction. Inhale, arm lifts up. Exhale, rotate back. And then start circling through that shoulder. Lots of shoulder work this morning. Inhale, arm lifts up, thoracic spine rotates back. And exhale, reaching overhead. Now let's reverse that direction. Arm reaches overhead, breathe in. And exhale as we rotate back. And coming back through the center. Now before we do that, let's bring the top leg back. So the top knee goes back. So we're kind of lined up in the scissor position with the hips. And then keep going, reaching overhead, allowing upper body to twist back. And then coming back through the center. One more time, breathe in. Arm reaches over. Exhale, rotate back. And inhale through the center. Let's do one more time here. Allow the pelvis to move slightly in this position. And then coming back through the center. Excellent. Let's drop the weight. We're gonna lift our torso up onto the elbows. And the top leg will just straighten. Waistline is still supported on the OOV. Now try to lift your bottom ribs up just so slightly. So they're not just kind of hanging in there, but slightly lifted. Heel is flexed. We're gonna lift that leg up parallel to the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, kick that leg forward through the hip. And then point the toe as you sweep it back. Flex the foot, kick it forward. Point the toes, sweep it back. 4 more. Focusing on the hip hinge. So the pelvis is in the same position, doesn't move. Trying to keep our pelvis neutral. And moving through the hip, the glutes as we press it back. This is our final one. Let's keep it back, toe is pointed, and we have our circles. Down, up, and over. 4 and 4, each direction. I like to think of that femur rotating in the socket, trying to make it as smooth as possible, and focusing more on hip extension. Let's reverse it, meaning pressing the hip back, feeling the glute activate. The waistline will definitely work. QL, obliques, and 3, and 4, and bring it back. Well done. We're gonna go into our bridge sequence. So we're gonna use the OOV for our feet, and we're gonna use the band around the knees. So use a light band and just press it on the outside of the knees. And then we're gonna lie down with both feet on the OOV. It doesn't matter which side OOV is facing through the skinny edgy part. But you wanna find yourself in the center of that apex. Arms pressed down, tailbone is down, and feet are together. We're gonna start by pressing outward against the band, just a couple of times. The next one, let's press slightly out, so it's heels together, knees apart. Breathe in. And exhale, hip roll. So articulating the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up into the bridge. Slightly open through the hips. We're gonna hold this at the top. Feeling the glutes, feeling nice opening through the front of the hips, arms are pressing down. Take a breath in one more time at the top. And exhale, soften the ribs, rolling your spine down vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's do one more time. Breathe in, back at the neutral position. Exhale, tip your pelvis back, press into the OOV, lift up. Now we're gonna add little pulses. So you're gonna pulse against the band for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Open, hold, and exhale, roll down. Vertebrae by vertebrae through the spine. Let's bring legs back to parallel. We're gonna go into the single leg work. So left leg on the OOV, maybe move it kind of more to the side, to the middle. Right leg lifts up into the tabletop. We're gonna do 6 hip lifts. No rolling. Press that foot into the OOV. Breathe in, exhale, hips lift up. Inhale, lower down for 6. And lift. The other leg stays in tabletop. And 5. Press up. 4. Pressing into the heel, trying to use the glute max to do the movement. And 3. Ribs stay connected. And 2. Last one, we're gonna lift it up and hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Let's switch sides. Move the OOV slightly to the side, so the other foot is in the middle. Opposite leg comes out into the tabletop. Keep it that band just to keep us accountable and help with leveled pelvis. And here we go for 6. Exhale, press up and down. Exhale up for 2. And 3. Come all the way up. Make sure that you're not hiking through that side. So think about keeping that waistline long. Sometimes the arms on the pelvis helps for us to know where we are. Last 2. Last one, we're gonna hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower all the way down. Well done. Both legs go onto the OOV. We have our last sequence through the bridge. Both legs are gonna be up. Knees are slightly apart, just keeping a little bit of that band. We're gonna lift up again into the bridge. Now we're gonna do little pulses with the pelvis. So let your pelvis drop a couple of inches and then exhale, press it up. Inhale, drop, exhale, press it up. And 8. And range glute squeezes. 7. 6. Keep pushing against the band to help. And 5. Heels are pressing, the entire foot is pressing into the OOV. 3, 2, and last one. Lower all the way back down. Bring the knees towards the chest. Give them a big hug. And exhale, we're gonna come back up. Now we're going into our abdominal series. So we're gonna use the OOV in its saddle position. So you're gonna have a seat in the saddle, kind of at the very edge of it. Don't need any equipment. We're gonna use the weights to make things harder. So knees are slightly bent. Have a seat in the saddle. Find yourself in a nice neutral position. We're gonna breathe in and do a couple of half rollbacks. As you exhale, take your pelvis back until the lower back finds that OOV support. So sort of creating a little bit of a C curve, making sure that you're not kind of slouching through the upper body, but really working through that lumbar spine. And then exhale, coming back up. Arms are still on the knees, rolling back. So it's a very small, sort of hollowing abdominals, creating space, and then coming back up. Last one, exhale. Starting with that lower back, melting the spine into the OOV. Head stays nice and long. And then coming back up. Now we're gonna start progressing. Arms reach forward, breathe in, exhale. We half roll back. Keeping that C curve, keeping that connection from the rib to the pelvis. Can we start lifting opposite arm and leg up? Inhale, just like we did laying on the back. Opposite arm, opposite leg, lift up. And lower back down. Let's go for 8. Keeping that same side. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Yeah, beautiful. And 4. And 5. Excellent. 6. Working in that deep psoas. 7. Last one. And 8. Coming back to center. And resetting, coming all the way into the tall spine. Let's do this one more time. The other side. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale. Melting the spine into the curve, into the OOV. And then switching sides. Inhale, opposite arm, opposite leg lifts up. Exhale, lower for 8. The higher you lift the hip, the knee, the better it is. Now, if it's a little bit turned out, that's even better. Find the range that's the hardest for you. Sounds counterintuitive, but whatever that range of the hip, a little bit external rotation, maybe it's parallel, but that's where that psoas really has to work. And lower back down, and come all the way up. Well done. Part 2, we're gonna breathe in, exhale, melt back into the OOV. Now we're gonna allow opposite knee, opposite arm move away from each other. So left knee falls out to the side, right arm goes out to the side, and coming back for 8. Exhale in. Nothing else moves. Try to come up a little bit higher. Pull your ribs a little bit deeper. Almost there. 3 more. Exhale in. And in. Last one. Come back in. Exhale, lift all the way up. To make it harder, we can hold little weights. Breathe in. Last one. Exhale, half roll back. Find that C curve, that flexion, and then switching sides. Left arm, right hip falls out to the side and bring it in. Breathing through it. And breathe. Come up a little higher. 4. Sustained isometric contraction. 5. 6. Nice work, ladies. 7. And 8. We're climbing all the way back up. Whew. Final round. Then we're gonna get some good extension after this. So the last one, we breathe in. Both arms are gonna go behind our head. So the head will push into the arms, they're interlaced together. Knees are still bent. Breathe in, exhale, half roll back. We're gonna do little pulses like ab preps with our upper body. Exhale, lift up a little and then go back down. And 2. And 3. This is upper abdominals. And 4. So you're coming off the OOV just 2 inches from that very higher end. And 6. And 7. And 8. Come all the way up. And sit up tall. Let's straighten both legs. Ankles are flexed. We're gonna reach forward. And then start rolling back. Maybe grab the weights for added work. And then exhale, rolling all the way back against the OOV, allowing upper body to extend over it, finding that balance, breathing in at the top. Assess where it hits your upper back. If it feels that you need extension a little bit higher, scoot up on the OOV, or a little bit lower, scoot down. Let the arms go out to the side, not the chin, and roll up. We're gonna do 4 more, so feel where you wanna scoot forward or back, and rolling down. Arms reach overhead, breathe in, arms open, not the chin, scoot and roll up. And 3 more, rolling down. Arms reach overhead, breathe in. Exhale, arms open, not the chin. Roll up. 2 more. And rolling back, legs are straight, ankles are flexed. Chin is tucked. Keep trying to get that thoracic extension. And rolling back, and this is our final roll down. Exhale, rolling down, scooping abdominals. Inhale, reaching overhead. And exhale, letting the arms open. And coming all the way up. Well done. Let's move into extension work. So we're gonna take the OOV and flip it over. And it's gonna go right where the thoracic spine is. Now, I like to keep the band around the legs for this, so it's gonna help with the pelvic stability, kind of with that forced closure. So the band is gonna go above the knees. We're gonna go onto the OOV. And then heels together, toes apart, a little bit of external rotation, pubic bone pressing down into the OOV. So the lower back will not be working. That is the goal. Arms will reach forward, palms down, head all the way down. Now, first, we're gonna start with just breathing. And that pressure that you feel into the sternum, actually, that's what you're trying to get to. So when you breathe in, you push your chest into the OOV, and notice how the back fills up with the air. You feel almost a stretch in that upper thoracic spine. With the next inhale, arms will gently push down to the floor, and we're gonna start floating our upper body up. Now let's stay in this extended position. Shoulders away from ears. We're gonna support it on the OOV. We're gonna lift our right arm up and left arm up. So both arms are lifted, nice long neck, pubic bone pressing down, and we're gonna go into a little swimming with the arms. 1 arm up, 1 arm down. We're gonna breathe in for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 5, last 10. And exhale. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower everything back down. Almost done. I know it's a lot of pressure into the chest, into the neck. 1 more breath in. Exhale, let's float up again. Arms are down onto the floor. Pubic bone pressing down, glutes are active. We're gonna lift our right arm up and move it out to the side. So it's at a T to the side. You're gonna rotate your neck and look towards that side. Breathe in. Now exhale, arm comes forward, gaze comes forward. Inhale, arm goes out to the side as we look to the right. We're gonna do 6 of those. Inhale forward. So allow your eyes to follow along your fingertips. So we're incorporating rotation of the neck with the rotation of the shoulder blade. 3 more. Most importantly, keeping torso stable on the groove. Last one. Bring that arm forward, lower down. The other arm lifts up. And here we go. Breathe in as we look to the left. Arm reaches to the left. Exhale, coming back to the center. shoulder away from ear. Focus on that shoulder blade gently gliding around the thorax. Make sure the opposite side of the pelvis isn't lifting off the OOV. So we're using the glutes to stabilize the pelvis. This also works a lot of our spinal erector spinae muscles in the back. Last one. Come back forward and lower everything back down. Let's press up into the shell stretch. Ooh, taking that nice deep breath, letting your head rest on the OOV. Sitting back, taking a couple of breaths in to reset. While we're resetting here, so our next series, we're gonna go into the kneeling position. So this will be a variation of our lunges, hip flexor opening, a little bit of glute work. So coming back up, we're gonna get rid of the band, don't need it. And let's turn the OOV kind of with the big fat part towards you. And the knee will go right into the saddle. So right knee goes inside the saddle. So the foot is supported. The shin is right in the middle of that crease. Now the opposite leg is gonna come up into the lunge. So as you find yourself into this lunge position, take a second, let your pubic bone to tuck under. So you feel the front of the hip open right away. Let your shin bone push down into the OOV. So we activate the quad in the front. So let's just kind of start standing there. I'm gonna change my screen so that you can see me a little bit better. Now, we're gonna start lunging forward. So arms are forward, press down, tuck the pelvis in. Breathe in, exhale, lunge forward, lift the arms, look up to the ceiling. And then coming back to the center. 4 more, lunge forward, arms lift up. Everything lifts up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, center. Oops, find your balance. And 3 more, breathe in. And center, and 2. And center, and last one. Lunging forward, feeling the active stretch through the front of the hip. And coming back to the center. Now, the same arm as the knee on the OOV is gonna go around the hip. The opposite arm is gonna reach forward. We're gonna take this into thoracic rotation. So you're gonna breathe in, lift that arm up, and then start rotating towards this side, sweeping that arm out to the side, reaching back, and then coming back to the center. So I'm drawing circles with that arm. Breathe in, look towards it, exhale, rotate the torso back, and then sweep it back forward. The key is to keep pelvis forward and not let anything rotate. Just the upper torso. Think of growing taller, think of lengthening up. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale, reach it back. Let's bring both hands down towards the floor. Sit back towards the heel, towards the OOV. Pull your front foot forward. And then we're gonna slowly switch sides. It can be a lot on the knee because of that kneecap compression. So if it is, feel free to take breaks and not push so hard into the shin bone, like pushing down onto the OOV. So we're switching sides. I like to press my shin down into the OOV to activate that quad. Tuck your pelvis under. Starting in this forward lunge position. You might already feel a lot of hip flexor stretch. I certainly do here. The front foot is down on the floor, big toe pressing down, little toes, the heel. The arch is lifted, so we're in this good position. The hip is dropped. Notice if yours is kind of hinge or hiking up. So find all those points, nice setup, arms come forward, Our first 4 are lunges. We breathe in as we lunge forward, big stretch through the front of the hip, push down into the OOV, and then come back up. And again, lunge forward, breathe in, sternum to the ceiling. So a little bit of extension through the upper torso, and then coming back up. Inhale over. Exhale back. And over. And last one here. Excellent. Now, the arm with the OOVs is going to go onto the hip just to help with tactile feedback. And then the arm that the leg is forward, we're going to start rotating it and reaching around. So you're lifting that arm up, rotating back, and then sweeping it back forward. Inhale, lift up, let your head, neck, and shoulder. Working a lot on balance here as well. Coming back, last one. And coming back. Let's sit back towards the OOV. Pull that front knee forward. And coming back. We're going to go into more kneeling, but now we're going to take the OOV horizontally. So both knees are going to go on the apex of the OOV. So they kind of close together. You're going to try to find yourself as close to that center as you can. Toes are curled under. We're going to work on the hip hinge sequence. So you're starting with a nice tall spine, abdominals pulled in. Without bending in the spine, keep it neutral. Allow your sit bones to reach back towards the heels. It's like we're doing squats, but in the kneeling position. And then exhale, using the glutes, pressing pubic bone forward, we come back up. So we're slowly hinging back, sit bones widen, reach towards the heels. And then we're coming back up. Keep a nice long neck, allow the cervical spine to stay in line with the rest, with thoracic. And last one here. Think of pulling your knees towards each other as if there's magnets. And coming back up. Let's stay here. Can we lift our right foot off the floor? And just balance. Put it back down. And then lift your left foot off the floor. And balance. And put it back down. Can we lift both feet off the floor and balance? And I find a focal point. And bring them back down. Nicely done. We're going to come off the OOV. And we're going to go into a little bit of quadruped work. And then we'll be done after our hands and knees stuff. So we don't need the OOV. We're going to put our arms on the OOV this time. So we're going to reach forward. We're going to take the OOV into this choking position where the elbows are going to be here. And then you're going to hold on to the front of the OOV. So knees will kind of walk back. So we're on the mat, pushing elbows down into the OOV as you're pulling OOV up towards you. Nice long neck. So we want to feel armpits, radius anterior behind our shoulder blades. We're going to breathe in. Right leg will extend long. Hold this position. Once you find your balance, let's see if we can lift that right leg up just to a hover. Now we're going to start bending the knee and straightening the knee for 5. While just kind of holding this plank variation. And 4. And 3. And 2. Keeping the height, working through the hamstring. And last one. Lower that leg down, bring it in, switching sides. Lengthening the other side, taking a second, finding your deep core, pushing down into the elbows, pulling up onto the OOV. And then we're gonna start lifting that leg up. And then bend the knee and straighten for 5 and 4, 3 and 2, and last one. Bring it back down. Let's go into our holding plank. Both elbows push down into the OOV. One foot goes out and the other. Pull your abdominals in. Going for 30 seconds. Breathe through it. The wider the feet, the easier it will be. The more narrow your feet, the harder. Elbows keep pressing down into the OOV. Keep pulling up on the saddle. We're halfway there. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back all the way in, and let's sit back towards the heels. Let's slowly come back up, and let's finish with some standing balance on the OOV. So today we're gonna come all the way, and we're gonna use the OOV for our lunge variation sequence. So you're gonna put it in front, kind of give yourself some space. And the right leg is gonna go inside the saddle. So I'm in that saddle area. Left foot will kind of step back. So the arch is on the saddle. The arch is what's gonna be challenged here because I'm really having to stabilize through my transverse arch. Once you find your balance, the back leg is on the toes. We're gonna lunge. Lower yourself down and come back up. We're gonna do 4 of these. And lower down. Toes and heels are essentially off the floor and just the arch is in contact with the OOV. Good, last one. And come back up. Push your step forward, and we're gonna switch sides. So the other leg goes inside the saddle. It doesn't matter which side the OOV is facing, really, all the same. But I'll just do it this way. And then we're gonna take our other leg back. First, you're in the high half toe. Take a second, find your balance, breathe in. And then let's get down into the lunge for 4. And 3, move real slow. And 2. I'm so much less coordinated on this side. And last one here. Slowly come back up. And let's find yourself in the center. We are done. I'm gonna stop the recording and